This week I'm in Paris for work, and in between business hours I have family and colleagues that are joining me to visit the city. So because we've already seen all of the main attractions in Paris, for the rest of our time here, we're going to be visiting a bunch of alternatives to the classic destinations. Should give us something interesting to check out that's a little bit off the tourist track or a little bit different than what we've already seen. Travel is a lifestyle, but sometimes it's hard to unplug from life back home. No matter where you are on your life's journey, if you travel aggressive, there's no limit to where you could go. So let me show you how. Paris has all sorts of really amazing public spaces, but instead of checking out some of the main gardens like Tuileries or Jardin du Luxembourg, we're gonna check out an abandoned train line instead.
Y'a comme un goût de déjà vu dans son chewing-gum. Mastique et reste au garde à vous pendant qu'elle swing l'homme.
This place, it's called Petite Ceinture. It means the little belt, and it's a train line that goes around the entire city. But it was abandoned in about the 30s because it's so huge. It's in various stages of rehabilitation. It is kind of cool to have a different perspective when you're halfway elevated above these buildings. Right up the back of it, so you only built half of your building. Well, I think the idea is that eventually the whole Petite Ceinture around the city will be redeveloped into public space. Cool being different from well-manicured gardens too.
It's such a throwback knowing when the trains used to just click and clack down that track.
Paris has another major waterway. It's called the Canal Saint-Martin. What's kind of cool is that this thing just doesn't go down the river. It goes through tunnels and locks and stuff. And there's a bar on board. Sounds fun.
Juste en arrière, pour les personnes qui sont sur le pont supérieur, faites attention à vos têtes parce que l'entrée de ligne 1 est construite relativement bas. Alors je suis désolé aussi, je ne peux pas...
It's kind of fun doing something different than just the Eiffel Tower cruise though.
Et moi, j'écris le temps qui passe.
Et toi, tu vis tout ce qu'on s'est dit.
La nuit, la lune, le feu, l'orage.
Dans les rues sombres, on bat la nuit.
J'aimerais baisser tes yeux douteux. J'aimerais chasser ta nostalgie. Relever ta tête, sois courageux à deux. On est plus fort que l'ennui. J'aimerais baisser tes yeux douteux. J'aimerais chasser ta nostalgie. Relever ta tête, sois courageux à deux. On est plus fort que l'orage.
La nuit, le feu, l'orage. La nuit, la lune, le feu, l'orage.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
It was
I don't know where we went, but
through like a million locks.
I don't know what a lock is.
It was still kind of touristy.
Well, I don't know. A boat in Paris is touristy.
That's true, but I mean, there's a lot of English shit in
It was the
here.
hipster boat ride of Paris. Turn droite.
À droite. like Paris, huh?
Not at all.
Star Wars.
So La Défense, this area, La Défense, the business district, was developed beginning in the 60s and 70s, I believe, and the Grande Arche here was built actually in the 80s. And it definitely corresponds to the Arc de Triomphe as kind of, you know, another wave of Paris triumphal arches. This one's a double alternative. First alternative is, instead of seeing the architecture at the Paris Opera, the Opéra Garnier, is to check out the Paris Philharmonie, which is where I think the Paris Symphony plays. And the second alternative is, instead of seeing the view of the city from Montmartre, is to actually go up the roof of this building and see the view from there. The Philharmonie is in this whole park. Is called La Villette, which was redeveloped I think in the late 70s or the early 80s, and it's a park of science and industry and music. So one side is science and industry.
Yes.
This side is the music side, but a lot of it is really kind of avant-garde redeveloped stuff. So I wouldn't guess that it has the same negative reaction that like the Louvre or Pompidou has, because it's not part of like the historical part of the city.
Okay.
In France, fine dining is all about your Michelin stars. The rating system is a 1, 2, and 3 star system, and if you get 3 stars as a chef, you're basically set as a star chef for the rest of your life. The Michelin rating system actually has another category that's called Guide Gourmand, which is awarded to restaurants of exceptional quality, but also reasonable prices. So a great alternative to doing a Michelin starred restaurant, check out the Guide Gourmand instead.
Et je fais de ça une parcelle ou un îlot. Et je fais de ça au milieu de Nil. Au ça de ma vue, vite, c'est le temps qui passe au kilo. Mettre ça à milieu de mille autres, ça m'amuse. Face au pile, jette mon deal en l'air en ville et je file. Facile, c'est
Ça 7 ans l'option.
L'option c'est bon.
C'est bon, ok, parfait. Aussi, ouais, je pense le tartare de canard. C'est bon. Est-ce qu'il y a beaucoup de
fromage? Tu la voulais ou pas? Ouais.
Merci beaucoup.
Okay.
It's a duck tartare. It has a sesame oil flavor.
Mine is a sardine bruschetta. I'm a little bit nervous of mine. Me too.
Pig ears and sardines doing you good?
Ça va, ça vient, chez toi, chez moi, les jours se suivent, et là...
It is delicious. The layers of flavor, the layers of texture, phenomenal.
Guide Gourmand list that you just search through Michelin online. There's a really wide variety of places, including like a pho place.
Ça vient pas comme ça, bien sûr qu'il faut s'en faire.
So of all of the things that the Parisians hate that got built in the city, this one is probably the most hated, and probably deservedly so. If the 70s did bad things to architecture, this is what the 70s did wrong to Paris. So this alternative is, instead of going to the top of the Eiffel Tower, we're gonna do the top of the Tour de Montparnasse.
Okay.
But the idea is that if you want to see a view of Paris, if you go in the Eiffel Tower, you're not gonna see the Eiffel Tower. What's great about the Tour de Montparnasse is that when you go to the top of it, you don't see the Tour de Montparnasse and you see the Eiffel Tower.
Danse, danse, danse. Danse, danse, danse. Danse,
This was well worth it. If you don't want to stand in the lines and you want to truly see the Eiffel Tower, this is the way to go. Check the prices. Much, much cheaper. Beautiful views.
I actually didn't think of this until I walked in, but this might as well be a good alternative to instead of staying at luxury hotel, drink at luxury hotel. Then all you have to ball out on is the cup of tea. It was probably the most expensive cup of tea I've ever had.